Hey guys, Kim Perryman here, and I'm back again with another product. This guy right here, let me show it to you. This thing is pretty cool. It's called Brex Link. It is the 3-in-1 translator, recorder, language translator device with app control. This company sent this product to me, and they wanted me to show you all about it. So it is the Moss Talk Pro AI Translator Recorder. What's really cool about it is that it has this ring that can work like a kickstand. We'll get to that in a second, but first and foremost, your AI translator recorder. If you have any questions, contact them through there. Oh, yeah, this is the how to do a handful of things here. This makes sense because a lot of times you might say, hey, I don't have an iPhone where it has this MagSafe stuff in the back. You may have one of those rings built into the case, or they have you covered here. So let's continue. Connect Bluetooth, charge the device. Right, there's a contact point for charging. Basically walks you through what does the color light mean. Blue means flashing blue. The Bluetooth has not been connected, flashing 3 times. It's connected. There's red light, light is off. That means it's in standby mode. Translate, audio, voice, playback, translation only. You have a bunch of features and functions. We're going to learn all this together. And this entire manual, while rather small, is all in English. All right, we got that over here. We'll just set you over there. I think is it Spanish or let me see. Presented the both in French. Yeah, French, I think. Okay. All right. Interestingly enough, they have French and English. And here is the charging cable. Now, this is interesting because they don't have a USB-C or a slot or anything in there. They have these contact points. And let me show that to you. Get it up here so you can see it a little bit better to focus on it. Oh, I'm too close. There we go. It just has these 2 little contact points on the inside, and then on the outside, those are magnets, and these are push pins. So it should only go one way, and the magnets will hold themselves. Yeah, and it won't go the other way. Once it's contacted, those 2 pins will touch that point there, and then you plug it into your USB-A connection, and it'll start charging the device. Let's see if it'll do that, actually. I'm just going to pop it into one of these. Wait, no, let's do this over here. I have an open slot. You will be able to see it. There it is, and look at that. The little red light comes on. Very nice. Okay, so as I said, what if you had maybe, Samsung phone? It doesn't have the circle things on it, right? You got a Android, Samsung, whatever. Fortunately enough, this actually does have the MagSafe style ring in here. You can pop this right on there and look at that. It's locked on. So what I thought was really cool about this is that you can rotate this about the ring surface, and now you have a kickstand. So you can either do something like this or like this. Yeah, you can't really do it that way. If you stuck this up and out, you could do it at a very slight angle if that's your thing. Cool. What's also cool about it is that it does pop in and lock into the phone and almost disappear. You don't have to get a fingernail underneath it. You can use it and make sure you have a little bit of security on the phone, but keep in mind that it will pull off. Okay, with all that, let me show you the surface of this. It says BrexLink on there. It does have the push button where you can push it, and then it'll activate the Bluetooth. And while we're here, let's go ahead and set that down here. It's a plastic and aluminum mix, it looks like. But before we get on that, 3 extra rings, just in case you make a mistake or you switch phones. You can put these on phones that don't have the ring. Peel the sticker, stick it to where you want on the phone. You now have a MagSafe style ring. I like to use the word MagSafe because everyone understands what that means. Now, we're flashing here, and I'm going to make sure I'm walking through this properly. It said flashing will tell me if it's in Bluetooth pairing mode. It should be on Wi-Fi. Let me go ahead and click on my Bluetooth. I'm scanning. There it is right there, MossLink Talk Pro. I'm going to pair, and I hope it's not too late because the light turned off, but maybe it's while it was pairing. If it rejects, we'll just push the button again and start all over. Okay, we'll start all over again. There it is. That's what I thought. Unfortunately, I waited too long and it just turned off. I just asked to pair with it. Let me double check that I paired. Yep, I'm connected. Okay, done. Let's give it a shot, see what happens. Let me see. Start now. Okay, confirm while using the app. Is it translated from English to Spanish? Oh, I can type it in. Translate, voice playback, translation only, male and female. Hey there, how's it going? What time is it where you're at? How's the food over there? You can flip it over so you can have someone on this side of the phone seeing this, and then have someone on this side of the phone seeing this as it's translating. Hey, did I say everything right? That was interesting. The only thing is I didn't hear it speak. And again, we are doing this all English to Spanish. Let me see. Conversation, English. Okay, so that's really interesting. This Brex link seems to be working just fine. It's listening to what I'm saying right now, and then it's going to translate it here and also type it on my screen.
Este Breslink parece estar funcionando bien. Es escuchar lo que decir aquí en un segundo y también lo escribirá en mi pantalla.
Okay, so the weather today was really good, and I was really excited to get out and roll down the windows on my Jeep and just go for a drive and just enjoy the cool but yet warm enough day because it's so nice out today. So I wonder, what's the weather like where you're at? Okay, so the weather today was really good, and I was really excited to get out and roll down the windows on my Jeep and just go for a drive. And it it translated everything that I said. This is really cool. So this portion is the conversation, right? If we go over here, this is just written. I'm out here showing you guys how this thing is laid out. The really cool thing about it is that I can tell the translator what's going on right here, and then it translates it over here. And you can see that it's also shifting words based on what's going on. Now, the other cool thing is I can touch this button and it flips it. So if I'm holding the phone like you see me, and then there's a person reading the translation, they don't have to read upside down. They can read it as they see it. Guy, girl, person, that's cool. They can read it as they see it. Cool. And it's hearing me again. Now, the other really cool thing about this thing, too, is in this case, it's listening to me talk, and then someone will hopefully respect each other and allow them to finish. Another person will talk, then I will talk. All right, this is cool. Then you can go ahead and swing back. You can select your languages back to where we were talking about here. This is back at home. You have your conversation. Again, this is the one where you talk, and then it'll speak it in Spanish. Let me try something here. I'm going to switch to Korean. It has a hard time with Asian languages. Let's go Korean. We'll see what's going on. I guess that's right. That's cool. You can do voice call. You got the offline mode. You can use this while you have a large paragraph, verse, paper. Trying to think of the right words, but maybe there's this large statement. That's what I'm trying to think of that you want to say to someone, but you want to record it and then get it in there and then get it all together and send it out at a later time. You can also do voice calls, which is very cool about this, is that you can, on the voice calls, in some cases, in video calls or voice calls, you can invite friends to call. And what's really cool is it will say, hey, this is going to translate in that language that you select. So there might be a delay between the calling and the voice features. Nice thing is you got a video call, you got the voice call capability. You can invite friends or join a call with room code. Again, if you have some place where you're going to be doing this. Come back to, I love this feature. It's just, okay, wait a second. Will it be, no, it's going to be Spanish still. So today was a wonderful day, and I was so excited about getting into my Jeep and going for a drive with the windows rolled down. It was really nice today. It was one of the better days in quite a long time. I was quite impressed with how the weather was. I just couldn't stay in this house any longer. I just needed to get out, go for a drive, and enjoy the wind blowing in. All right, so now I'm going to stop it just because I don't want it to keep translating. But let me look at it. So to start today. 그래서 I know a little bit of Korean. So today, start. I was like, 시작, start, because I touched the start button and I said start. It heard me. All right. So it literally heard me. And then there is the translation in Korean, inverted, so that I'm showing this to someone so that we can talk back and forth. As long as we don't and interrupt each other and overtalk each other to where the translator doesn't pick up on it, it will translate back and forth what we're saying to each other. So really cool feature on this. It showed that the signal strength, because I remembered that I left it on the box and I moved this up, it actually said that the signal was a little bit weaker audio wise and connection wise, only because it's away from the phone. But now that it's on the phone, it's locked in, it's really good to go. Man, today was such a wonderful day. I had a blast today. It was beautiful out here in Georgia. I went out, I just couldn't stay in the house any longer, jumped into the Jeep and just drove around and enjoyed this wonderful weather. Rolled down the windows and it was just really awesome.
이곳 조지아에서는 정말 아름다웠습니다. 나는 밖으로 나갔고 더 이상 집에 머물 수 없었다. 지프에 뛰어들어 방금 운전하고 이 멋진 날씨를 쭉 굴렸고 정말 굉장했습니다.
All right, so here's the cool thing. I'm going to take this downstairs and show it to my wife. My wife is Korean American, so she knows exactly. So I'm going to tell her, is this because the funny thing is, a lot of times the translations, like Spanish, is easier for these types of things to do this with, but for Korean, it's a little bit difficult and sometimes we'll miss the translate to some extent. If she tells me that this thing's rock on, this is impressive. I'll be right back. We're going to start again and we'll talk about it here in a second. So you can see that there's a couple more lines in here in this code, like in programming.
안녕하세요. 동네 식료품점이 어디 있는지 알려주실 수 있나요?
Okay, so that was one of the ones that I had translated with my wife. Here's the cool thing about this app, this translator. It does it fairly quickly and fairly well. But as a prime example, a direct communication, I said, hello, can you tell me where the local grocery store is? She said it perfectly. I threw a little bit of a kind of a confusing point in there. And as an example to the grocery store, oh, is it just down here to the left? Or do I go another block and then go to the left? Or is it the right? And she's translated it perfect. So in those cases where you're talking more of a direct and asking questions and getting information, this thing is rock star solid. It's really good. Even to this day, even all the best translating machines, AI, all that stuff, they do have a bit of a difficulty translating Chinese and Korean usually because of the way it's set up. I'm not the expert, but what I do know is that my wife said that this whole section about talking and me just jibber jabbing about something about how about a wonderful day it is and I was out for a drive and whatnot, some of it got lost in translation, literally. The communication was there, they understood. But these other ones related to questions and directions and looking for certain things, rock solid, right on. So that's pretty darn good. I really like this little dude here. That's really cool to put on your phone and not even notice it's there. Click it to turn it on. If you need to do some translating, open the app, start. Have that thing there while you're talking. Hey, where's the store at? Oh, it's right down the street over here. Oh, I'm really close. Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. Turn it off and off you go. If you're the world traveler or not, actually, more importantly, if you're not a world traveler, let's say you're out traveling and you don't know anything about the language, boom, there it is. It's done. So, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I do appreciate your time, and I'm out.